What's up, guys? nethervvoid here with more War Thunder for you. Today I'm going to show you a new plane, and it's new to me. It's not new by any means. This is the P-47D German version, basically the German captured P-47D Thunderbolt. And this is something I just bought. I think it was pretty cheap. It was like 1,400 Eagles, so I think it's like a few bucks. It's pretty cheap. As something to supplement my income when I play German planes now that I'm getting into like the tier 8 area or rank 8 area. So this is a rank 7, I want to say, and I can't look right now because I'm basically the way I have to do this is record these games as I play them, and then I have to talk over them. But they're not like replays. They're not like World of Tanks where you get the replay data and you can play it back through the client. And then, you know, when you can do that, you get all the UI. You can kind of interact with the game a lot. So I think this is a rank. It's a 7 or 8, I can't remember. But the point really that I want to say first of all is this thing is not very responsive. So I think that's just because it's an American plane. A lot of the American planes are not all that responsive. It's carrying 8 50 cals, which is a lot better than 6. But it still has massive issues with 50 cals. It's almost like you could put 12 or 15 50 cals on there, and it would never feel as powerful as the 3 20mm cannons on the F4 line. To me, there's something wrong with that, because in the war, the 50 cals were pretty much all you needed. You didn't need a lot to kind of take out a plane. Of course, I am playing an arcade, and so the damage models are a lot different here. I thought this P-63, yeah, he is, okay. When someone's going to shoot at you like that, try to turn under them. There's a couple of maneuvers I show you when you're flying against guys with big caliber guns like this. You cannot take one of those hits. So there's a couple ways to do it. And you can see I flew right under that guy, so he had to keep turning to try to get me, and he couldn't. So here's a P-47, but it's an American version. I don't know if the P-47, the American version, has 8 guns or not. I would assume it does, but I don't know. It's pretty good if you get, there you go, all shots on target, and also if you're shooting at angle, not really from behind. Again, it seems like the back end of planes have kind of extra armor or something like that, something weird. So he goes down. Also, I think the American planes tend to have well, I wouldn't say less hit points, I guess, but they're much more fragile than other nations. I don't really know why that is. It might be just because they seem to fly slower. Although I am going 455 right now. So that guy's just about dead. He's going to fall to his death and basically get chomped up by the guys down there, and they're going to get the kill. Another thing I don't really like, again, I fly an arcade mainly, so all this stuff's about arcade, but with the 50 cals, since it's hard to get a kill like pretty much right away, you typically have to keep your guns trained on the guy and just pump enough shells into him until he dies. Oh, I got the aircraft destroyed. He must have just fell straight to the ground without anybody else shooting him. Nice. But with the other planes, it's nice to get a couple shots into him, and then the guy dies, you get the kill, right? But with these planes, a lot of times I'll end up crippling the plane, and then it's flying away or whatever, and I'm trying to chase it down to kill it, and then somebody comes by and one-shots the guy, or he's so slow they can put their shots easily on target and he dies, you know? So the guy dies because I basically crippled him, but the other guy gets the credit because he got the kill shot. So here I'm coming straight down on a guy, boom, he's dead. Did I take out the pilot? No, I don't think I took out the pilot. So, I mean, it's not a bad plane. If you can keep your reticle on target, like, without fail, then you can do really well with this plane. I just found that for myself, it's a little bit tough because I'm not that good at keeping my reticle on target. I mean, I'm not bad at it, but I'm just not that good. I'm landing here because my engine's red, or at least pink, and I don't want it to fail on me while I'm out flying around. And I'm not all that damaged, so the repair time shouldn't be too high. The next game I'm going to show you is not as good as this game, but I wanted to show you the maneuverability of the plane. You can see in pretty good detail why I don't really like this plane too much. The F4, I think the toughest thing is like the F4s are so awesome, it makes all the other German planes like not fun to fly. Again, I'm talking about the tier 8 range or rank 8 range. Like The Dornier 217 is fun because it has packs a large punch, but it's got so little maneuverability. It's just ridiculous. So yeah, the F4s. I mean, those things like turn on a dime. They've got all this maneuverability. The roll rate's really good. The roll rate in this plane is horrible. And the roll rate, obviously, the Dornier 217s are not very good. The ME410, which I think is what it's called, is what I'll be showing you at the end of these two clips. It has a little bit better maneuverability than the Dornier planes, but still nothing like the F4s. And so the issue really, though, is what they really can't do in a sense. Well, they can in arcade, I think, but if they wanted to. Since arcade's not really a historical, most people will say it's not historical at all, which that's fine. But what they could do is, if a plane's maneuverable, it should not hit very hard. And if it hits very hard, it should not be very maneuverable. That's kind of how they should do it, to balance it out, kind of. It's really hard to do, though, with the way that these planes were designed, since they're so different from each other. I don't even know if you could do that. So I was trying to chase down this IL-2. There's a Typhoon. That's an easy target. Typhoons are very fragile. They do have nice guns, but again, it's like the 7.7 rounds, which are pretty crappy. They do turn really well, though, as you can see. Oh, that's the same guy. This thing is not a great turn fighter. I'd say it's maybe middle of the pack, not even. Probably this turns about like the P series. You know, it's not P36, it's P39s, probably. It's about the same. But again, issue being that it doesn't have that nice 37mm cannon. That thing is a beast. So A20, it'd be nice to get the kill on this guy, because those things bomb the crap out of your ground targets. But I don't expect to get kills on A20s with tanks, with planes like this, just because 50 cals don't hit hard enough to really penetrate the guy's armor. So there's a ram. That's unfortunate. Not only for my teammate, but also for me, because now I can't shoot the guy. So War Thunder closed beta for tanks is out. I did not get in it because I only did one of the challenges, and it was based on like how many challenges you did over the whole span of the time they were doing it, which was like 4 or 5 challenges per day or something like that, something ridiculous. And I just not that invested in it. So here, I think I'm flying straight at the guy. I'm getting that frame lag that I get on my videos, and he's dead. So that's nice, because usually those IL-2s, they will take you out, man. Those 23mm cannons are ridiculous. Yeah, I'm getting some video lag here. I think it's because... And I'm dead. An F4 kills me. That's because F4s are beastly. So now I'm going to get the ME410? Yeah, I think so. So this one has the 50mm cannon. I've been trying to fly this one a little bit. I'm trying to get rid of this video lag. There we go. So there's probably going to be a little bit of lag in the audio. Sorry about that. Usually I can kind of see what's going on, but when it gets down to like, you know, a frame every 4 seconds, it's like I can't really talk about the video. So yeah, this thing has got some maneuverability. I don't really have any unlocks on it yet, so it's got bad engines, and you know, it doesn't have a fuselage upgrade or anything like that. So I expect it to just get better and better. The hard part again with this thing is there's really no not reload rate. The fire rate is extremely slow, probably the slowest in the game. So it's like it's like you're sniping with one shell, right? One shot. So you got to be real careful. I usually just push the button once, because there's no point in holding down the mouse button when your fire rate's so slow like that. IL-2 could be a good target. I can one-shot this guy. And I decide to get out of there just because it could be enemy furball, and I can't even see what's going on. I like the fog in these games. Seems like it's coming up a lot more, but it's nice because it's harder to furball when there's a huge fog like that. So I decide I'm going to dive under it at least so I can see what's going on, so I can pick a target. But yeah, anyway, the closed beta was like basically for people who live in that game, and that's fine. It would be nice to get one as a YouTuber, and that is a huge furball, so I'm just going to egress out of here without even taking a shot. So I'm up at 670, a little bit of compression happening, but I can get out of this. But it was going to be hard to turn on someone's tail with that kind of compression going on, those speeds. So let's see what I can do now. A couple of my guys are engaging. Maybe I can get a shot on somebody here. Oh, he's going to fly straight at me? And one shot right through his face. Hee hee! You're dead. Corsair right through the face. Well, that's what happens when a tank shell hits you and when you're in an aircraft. Right? Pretty sweet. So yeah, don't fly straight out of M410, okay? ME410. It could be a bad thing to do. I'm not sure. So I don't know what the role of these things were in the war. I would imagine they're anti-ground forces with the 50 mil shell like that. So that's the game for this game. Pretty decent game. Like I said, the next game is not as good, but I wanted to show you some of the maneuvers I pulled and stuff. But there's 4 kills there in P-47D and 1 kill in the ME410 with the 50 cal on it. So nice little game. Not a lot of XP. Not an amazing game or anything. But I did want to show you this plane. So let's get the other game up. Hold on. So here's the second game here on Stalingrad, Domination, P-47D again, pulling it out here. I don't know why I don't get this map very often anymore, but I really love this map. I wish I would get it more. So I always go immediately for the combat cap. And it used to be you could come through here at 400 something kilometers per hour, but now you have to be like, I don't know, 320 or something. It has to be really low, because I think it's because they changed the instructor in arcade. It keeps you off the ground basically, which I don't think they need that. I mean, yeah, it's arcade, it's supposed to be easier, but you don't need something that keeps people from crashing when they get too close to the ground. I mean, come on. If I'm doing this and I crash, it's my own damn fault. So I come down here, let up on the flaps, 280. And I'm pushing down right here with my mouse, and it won't lay down on the runway here. So 240, you'd figure I could sit on the runway at 240. So I'm going to try to pull an Immelman here and get back on the runway. But you used to be able to come through there at 400 or something, and your wheels would touch and you could get it. So almost crashing right here, but pulling some decent maneuvers, getting really used to this plane. Now, another thing to note is when you buy these planes, they're fully unlocked. So this has stealth ammo, you know, all the wing unlocks, all the fuselage unlocks, every kind of unlock you can get. So it's never going to get any better than it is right now, which is pretty sad, really. So I split the capture with the guy that was already on the strip there. Could have got the full capture if the plane would have just sat on the ground, but freaking instructor wouldn't let that happen. So now I'm just trying to get into position to actually kill somebody. So, again, I usually have a little bit better time with the F4, and this video is really choppy. Why is it doing this? I hate that. It's just a Windows Media file. It's not like a huge deal. And it's really, really choppy. So I had to pause it a little bit there. And again, I'm sure now the audio is slightly behind. Sorry about that. I don't know, I wonder if there's a better way I can watch these, because all I need to do is watch what's going on. If the problem really is the file is so large, this is a 56 gig file. I guess I could record it in a lower frames or something. I don't know. I don't know what I could do, but maybe I could figure something out. And why is it getting laggy anyway? I guess because it can't load the video fast enough, maybe? I mean, I do have a 1 gig pretty awesome video card still. And all it's doing is showing me flat images. It's not like doing 3D rendering or anything. So I don't think it's the video card. Anyway, here's another P-47D, again, American version. Get a hit on him, but no kill. So that's unfortunate. He's getting tailed by a bunch of guys. He's definitely going to die. And there he is. Kill assist. Again, pretty crappy. 820, this is probably never going to happen because I'm actually shooting into his back. And he's outpacing me anyway. Let's try to get this guy killed, though. We're totally winning this thing with 2 out of the 3 air bases captured at this point. This is totally us. This is all us. So it looks like an F4 is diving on him as well. And if it's between me and the F4, he's definitely going to get the kill. Those 20 mil shells do ridiculous amounts of damage. And this plane really almost does none. I don't know why that is. It's like the Americans, again, this is all in arcade, because I think the Americans have really good planes for historical, but their planes in arcade suck, and that's all because of the 50 cals. I don't know why they don't just bump up the damage they do in arcades. Like, leave the way it is in historical, just bump it up a little bit in arcade so that flying American planes doesn't feel like you're, shooting rubber bands at guys instead of bullets. But, like, to make this thing effective, I would need 12 50 cals probably. So, I don't know, not all that impressed. At least the 39 still does pretty well. So coming after the Air Cobra here. And, oh man. I don't know if he realized he was going to die, so he just decided to suicide into somebody, or what, but not cool, man, not cool. PE2 should be an easy kill. Flies right by me. Anyway, I'm just kind of showing you, because there's a lot of banking maneuvers and stuff, that this is definitely not a turn fighter. It's definitely more of a boom and zoom. I don't know what role it played in the war, but I can't imagine it was a fighter. Was it a fighter bomber? Did it have more of a ground support role? Because it seems like the speed of it, it's okay. The wings are really flattened out, like where you'd have like a what is it? High lift, high drag, or I can't remember what. I'm not much into avionics, so I don't know what the jargon is for it. But it doesn't seem like it's a very fast attack fighter with very much maneuverability. But I don't know. You know what? Let's look it up on them. I mean, I'm not playing, right? So I can look this up. Why am I asking you guys? Alright, so P-47 Thunderbolt. Let's look this thing up. Let's see kind of what it was supposed to do here. Okay, so P-47 Thunderbolt was the largest, heaviest, and most expensive fighter aircraft in history to be powered by a single piston engine. Heavily armed with 850 cals per wing, when fully loaded, weighed up to 8 tons, and in the fighter-bomber ground attack roles could carry 5-inch rockets. Okay, so it had at least a role as a fighter-bomber, but not... It wasn't its only mission, it sounds like. It could carry over half the payload of the B-17 on long-range missions. So apparently it still was a bomber. Obviously, the B-17 had far greater range, it's saying here. I'm just looking at Wikipedia here. Very effective as a short to medium-range escort fighter in high-altitude air-to-air combat. Huh. And when unleashed as a fighter bomber, proves especially adept at ground attacks. See? So, again, this is one of those planes where the fighters are just going to obviously dominate it because it's not... Its primary role wasn't just as a fighter or as an attack aircraft, you know what I mean? So it's already at a huge disadvantage. And maybe they need to counterbalance that with a really high, I don't know, an even higher reward system as far as when you get kills with it, because it's so hard to get kills with it. I think it does have a 90% reward rate, and this one has 90 plus 90, so it's got like 180%. And I tried to land it here, but no dice. It just crashed and said, I mean, I could have saved the plane, but there's really no point because it was gonna have to take me 2 minutes to do, so why even do that? So, sorry I had to stop the video a little bit again. I'll try to catch those clips where I do stop it and push out the audio so it matches. But it was like 1 frame every 20 seconds, so I couldn't even figure out what was going on. So yeah, okay, that makes a lot of sense then. Oh, okay. The armored blah, 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 blah. A modern-day U.S. ground attack aircraft, the Fairchild A-10 Thunderbolt, takes its name from the P-47 because it has a similar role. That makes sense. So pulling out the 410 again here, Any second, it's loading. I don't know what that means. It must be loading the aircraft or something. But this thing seems more maneuverable than the P-47. I don't know why. It's weird. So let's see. Common design. I was trying to look at like what else we could figure out about this plane. Like why it seems like it's not a very good plane. Again, it's probably really awesome in historical, but that's just, you know, a lot of that is because in historical, with the damage models being so soft anyway, the smaller caliber rounds are going to do a lot better, right? So I'm coming in for a combat cap because we need to cap this thing. The enemy capped it, and I'm going to recap it for us. Now here I'm going 300, but I'm still capping. Oh no, the wheels come off again. Luckily I get it right at the end of the runway there. It kind of pisses me off that my wheels wouldn't stay on there. Stupid instructor. So yeah, that's probably why these planes are just pretty awesome in historical, and also because, you know, you have to reload in historical, so obviously the planes that carry the most rounds are going to be pretty awesome. You can stay out there longer. The planes with large caliber guns, you know, they only have a few shots and they have to go back to base. So anyway, not all that upset I didn't get into the closed beta for tanks, because since I can't show you any footage from it, there's almost no point for me to be in it. Sure, I can unlock tanks and kind of figure out how they drive and all that stuff, but I can do that on day one. All I have to do is play for like an hour, and I'll know how the game is. It's not gonna, like, I'm gonna have to, you know, drive tanks for a week to figure out if it's a good game or not. It's pretty obvious if it's good already at that point. So I don't know. I wish first I was gonna buy a package to make sure I got in, but there's no way I'm gonna buy that if I can't release footage. So there's no point. Anyway, not a very good game. Just kind of showing you the maneuverability and how if the guns were a little bit stronger, I probably could have got more kills in that game. So anyway, that's the P-47D. Let me know what you think about it. Later, guys.